So I'm going to share something personal here. I had three children in 3.5 years, and I had three C-sections. All of them ended up being emergent, and I am a small woman, very small woman, so that the scar is half the width of my abdomen. I'm pretty athletic, and I remember after the third C-section thinking, oh wow, like this must be what it's like kind of to be tortured because I was living with such chronic, consistent pain without and so sleep deprived. And I remember it just sort of flickering through my head. Oh yeah, this has got to be some like small sliver of what it's like to live in a concentration camp or something. But just acknowledging like the absolute lack of sleep coupled with intense pain, at all times, um, was a pretty big challenge. So I say that that's my personal experience. Now, I also say my personal experience would be there's someone listening to that going, "Oh, I've had three C-sections, and they're a 6 foot tall woman, and oh, I didn't have any problem." So the important thing about listening is accepting the perspective of the person who's making the statement, going, interesting. Oh, that's been your experience. It's not erasing, minimizing, washing away, denying someone else's experience. Where we garner wisdom is when we respectfully sit back and hear someone's perspective. We take it in. We do nothing to disrespect the person who's speaking. Nothing, nothing at all. Um, we just give no harm. We give respect. So I'll talk about this a little more. But here we go, April 4th. I used to love the stillness of early morning, but over years of living with an addict, I stopped noticing it. Instead, I woke up the same way I went to sleep, frantic. Before I was out of bed, I already had a long list of crises that needed my attention. So no matter how early I got up, I was already late. Sometimes I was so overwhelmed I couldn't get up at all. My life has changed. I heard someone in Al-Anon say that when they open their eyes in the morning, they also open their ears. Now, as I waken, I listen for the birds. I choose not to review my plans for the day until I've had my breakfast. I prefer to take time to appreciate my favorite part of the day. Al-Anon is helping me to clear my mind of my burdens so that I am able to enjoy the wonder of the moment. I am beginning to enjoy a childlike awe about the splendor of nature, to see the beauty all around me, to let my face break into a smile spontaneously, to laugh, to love, to live again. Today I can say, "Good morning, God," instead of "Good God, it's morning." Today's reminder. Today I'll be keenly aware of my senses. I will think about what I'm experiencing at this moment. I won't let the beauty of this day slip by unnoticed. Here's the quote. Real generosity towards the future consists in giving all to what is present. Albert Camus. So when I see people, one of the first things that I am attentive to is if sleep is happening in the house. And people will say, "Oh yeah, I'm up at 3 and 4 and 5 in the morning." And I'm hearing that person gaming, and they're tracking on this, their loved one, and they're not getting good quality sleep. So nothing is going to shift until sleep becomes sacred under your roof, something that absolutely has to be respected at all costs, and that there is a designated time in which the house is still and quiet. And that's basic to maintaining, physical health, your mental health, and patience, your emotional health. So everybody in the house has to be able to be free to experience undisturbed sleep. And I can't, move in with you and tell you how to navigate that. You've got to figure out how to solve that problem. And that's where, prayer helps, and to do things in a stepwise fashion, however you're inspired to deal with that problem, know that that's a problem that you've got to find a solution. And that solution has to be consistent. We can't even have anxiety. Think about people having anxiety about being able to go to sleep, what the impact that has on uh, their life. So you got to have a place to lay your head. It needs to be a quiet place. It needs to be a dark place. It needs to be a peaceful place. And you got to be able to go to that place consistently. So that's a good kind of place to tackle your problems. It's a good starting place when you've got a gaming addict in the house. It's just sleep is sacred. I think it's a good idea to have a family meeting, everyone present. You're not saying anything behind anybody's back. We're having an honest and open discussion about this thing called sleep and the importance of it. And at any rate, just some suggestions. Just some suggestions. Home is where it's a haven. It's not a prison cell. Home is a place, a safe place for everyone. It's not a place where you're tortured. It's a haven.